My older sister Lauren always said I wasn't responsible enough to own property. So for 2 years, I faithfully paid her $3,200 monthly rent for the beautiful downtown apartment she managed, but today, while signing what I thought was a lease renewal, I discovered the truth: the deed was in my name all along. And the $76,800 I paid? It was going into my own mortgage account. Her betrayal would become my greatest blessing. After our parents passed away in a car accident, my older sister Lauren became my guardian and financial advisor. She was 15 years older, a successful real estate broker, and never missed an opportunity to remind me of my financial incompetence. "You're too impulsive, Maya," she'd say. "You'll never handle property ownership responsibly." When I graduated college and got my first job in the city, Lauren presented what seemed like a perfect solution. She'd managed to secure a gorgeous downtown apartment for me, modern, secure, in a prime location. The catch? The mysterious owner insisted on $3,200 monthly rent, payable directly to Lauren as the property manager. For 24 months, I transferred the money faithfully, watching my bank account drain while Lauren flaunted her new luxury car and European vacations. Each time I mentioned wanting to buy my own place, she'd dismiss me. "The market's too volatile, or you need better credit first," she'd say, always with that condescending smile, but something felt wrong. The apartment had no maintenance issues, no landlord visits, no typical rental paperwork. When I asked to meet the owner, Lauren always had an excuse. They value their privacy, or they live overseas. I pushed my suspicions aside, trusting my only sister had my best interests at heart. The first red flag appeared when I needed to renew my driver's license and required a proof of residency. Lauren provided a document that looked off. The font didn't match official paperwork, and the notary stamp seemed blurred. When I mentioned this, she became defensive. "Are you accusing me of something, Maya? After everything I've done for you?" My best friend Chloe, a paralegal, grew suspicious. "Something doesn't add up," she said. "Let me do some digging." What she discovered shocked us both. The property records showed the apartment was purchased 2 years ago, right when I started renting under the name Maya Johnson Trust. Confronted with this, Lauren spun an elaborate story. "The owner set up the trust in your name as inheritance protection. I'm the trustee, I manage everything for you until you're responsible enough." But Chloe's legal instincts kicked in. Trusts don't work that way. If you're the trustee paying rent to a trust owned by Maya, you're paying yourself with her money. I started investigating quietly. I found old emails between Lauren and our parents' lawyer discussing their will. Our parents had left us equal shares of their estate, but Lauren had always told me I'd received less because I was younger. The math didn't add up. My rent payments exactly matched what would have been my full inheritance share. The breaking point came when I discovered Lauren's secret storage unit. Using a key I found in her desk, I opened it to find boxes of our parents' possessions she'd told me were lost. And there, in a locked case, was the truth, the original deed to my apartment, with my name clearly listed as the sole owner. Confronting her was the hardest moment. "How could you?" I asked, my voice trembling. "Our parents wanted me to have this. You've been stealing from me for 2 years. Lauren didn't even have the decency to look ashamed. I was protecting you. You would have blown that money on stupid things. I invested it in property in your name, see? I was helping you. But keeping $76,800 of my money? Lying to me? Making me feel incompetent? You are incompetent." She shot back. "You'd never have managed that inheritance wisely. I did what was best for our family." That's when I realized the depth of her betrayal. This wasn't about protection, it was about control. And it was about to cost her everything. I decided to play along with Lauren's game while gathering undeniable evidence. I pretended to accept her explanation, even apologizing for doubting her. "You're right, Lauren," I said, forcing tears. "I'm not responsible enough. Thank you for protecting me." Her triumphant smile made my stomach turn. "I knew you'd understand eventually. That's why I'm in charge." What she didn't know was that I was recording every conversation, documenting every transfer, and working with Chloe to build an ironclad case. We discovered Lauren had done this before she'd mismanaged 2 other family members' inheritances, though on a smaller scale. The perfect opportunity came when Lauren asked me to sign routine trust documents at her office. I arrived with hidden cameras and my glasses and a recording device in my purse. Chloe waited outside with a notary public and a lawyer I'd hired. Lauren smiled smugly as she spread the papers across her expensive oak desk. Just standard paperwork to keep everything in order. Sign here, here, and here. I read through the documents carefully. They weren't routine at all. They would have given Lauren permanent control over the property and allowed her to continue collecting rent indefinitely. She'd even included clauses that would prevent me from suing her for past actions. Is this really necessary? I asked, keeping my voice neutral. Absolutely, she said, not looking up from her phone where she was clearly shopping for luxury handbags. It's for your protection. You wouldn't understand the legal complexities. That's when I decided to spring my trap. I think I understand more than you think, Lauren. For instance, I understand that this apartment has been mine all along, and that you've stolen $76,800 from me. She froze, her phone clattering to the desk. What are you talking about? That's ridiculous. I have the deed, I said calmly. I have bank records. I have recordings of you admitting everything. And most importantly, I nodded toward the door where Chloe entered with our lawyer and the notary. Lauren's face went pale. What is this? Get out of my office. Our parents' lawyer is on his way too, I continued. He's very interested in how you managed to lose my portion of the inheritance. The confrontation that followed was explosive. Lauren alternated between denial, anger, and attempted manipulation. She cried about how hard she'd worked to raise me after our parents died. She threatened to cut me out of her life forever. She even tried to blame me for being ungrateful. But I stood firm, surrounded by evidence and professional support. This ends today, Lauren. You're going to transfer every penny back to me. You're going to sign over full control of the property. And you're going to do it right now in front of witnesses. When she realized she had no escape, her mask finally slipped. You were always the favorite. She screamed. Mom and Dad loved you more because they felt guilty for dying when you were so young. I deserve that money more. I had to raise you. The truth tumbled out. Our parents had left specific instructions for my care and education, with generous compensation for Lauren. That she'd taken everything, leaving me to struggle while she lived lavishly as she signed the documents under the lawyer's supervision. I felt no triumph, only sadness. The sister I'd loved and trusted had been stealing from me for years. But I also felt strength. I'd uncovered the truth and stood up for myself. The final moment came when our parents' lawyer arrived with additional documents Lauren had forged. Seeing the mountain of evidence against her, she completely broke down. The successful, controlling sister was gone, replaced by an exposed, desperate woman facing serious legal consequences. In the months following the confrontation, my life transformed completely. The $76,800 was returned to me with interest, as Lauren settled out of court to avoid criminal charges. The apartment became truly mine, no more rent payments, no more lies. For the first time in years, I felt financially secure and in control of my future. Lauren and I didn't speak for 6 months. She lost her real estate license due to the ethical violations and moved to another state. The lavish lifestyle she built on stolen money collapsed, and she had to start over completely. Meanwhile, I used the returned funds to pay off the apartment's remaining mortgage and invest in my education. I started a small business helping young people understand property rights and financial literacy, something I wished I'd had when I needed it most. The most surprising development came on my birthday when a package arrived from Lauren. It contained our mother's jewelry pieces I'd believed were lost forever and a handwritten letter. I'm sorry, she wrote. Not just for the money, but for making you feel incapable. Our parents would be ashamed of me. I was jealous that they trusted you with so much at a young age, and I let that jealousy destroy our relationship. We've started talking again, carefully and with boundaries. The trust may never fully return, but we're learning to be sisters again in a new way. She's getting therapy for her control issues, and I'm learning to set healthy boundaries. My business, property rights education for young adults, has helped dozens of people avoid situations like mine. We offer free workshops on understanding deeds, leases, and inheritance rights. The most rewarding moment was helping a young couple discover their landlord was overcharging them by $500. Monthly, they got $12,000 back. As for the apartment, I still live there, but it feels different now. The walls that once felt like a cage now represent freedom and self-advocacy. Every morning when I wake up in my own home, I remember that I'm capable, strong, and worthy of trust. Lauren visits occasionally now, and our relationship is slowly healing. She recently admitted, "You were always more responsible than I gave you credit for. I was wrong about you. You're exactly the kind of person who should own property." The journey taught me that sometimes the people who claim to protect us are the ones we need protection from. But it also showed me that truth has a way of surfacing, and justice, while sometimes delayed, eventually arrives. I started writing a book about my experience, hoping to help others recognize financial manipulation. The working title is The $3,200 Lie: How My Sister Stole My Inheritance and What I Learned About Fighting Back. Our parents' legacy finally feels honored not through the money or property, but through the lessons learned about integrity, courage, and the true meaning of family. And every time I make a mortgage payment to my own account, I smile, remembering that the sister who said I never owned property accidentally made me a homeowner.